when we're ready. Okay.
Hey everybody, we're back a little bit. We're going to do another video. Now this is going to be the Mac version. So if you don't know what we're doing a way to unzip files that are coming from your thread of the month this month. Now we didn't know when we did the recipe towel that the files would be large enough to become compressed. So when we sent them out to you, it automatically compresses them and zips them to send them to you. Normally in the thread of the month, that doesn't happen, but in this case, it did. So we are going to do some compressing of some files. So we're going to uncompress them and whatever. Now the Apple is a whole different ballgame.
Yes, because you know what, Costa? I have a Mac. I don't have Windows, so I have a Mac, and I want to know, how am I going to download my embroidery file for Thread of the Month that I get from Wish Upon a Quilt onto my Mac, onto my sewing machine?
So this is the MacBook Air. A lot of you have MacBook Pros or just regular Mac desktops. It should all look the same if you are either in one of the last couple. I think I've got Catalina on this, but you may have High Sierra or whatever. So now at the very bottom, there's my mail. I, of course, hit it.
Okay, open up my mail.
There it is. And I've already got Wish Upon a Quilt, nice and red and ready to go.
So there's my email. I open up my email from Wish Upon a Quilt. There's my file for Thread of the Month. Now what do I do, Costa?
Now, it's not showing it's zipped, but I'm going to open it like this, and it will unzip itself normally.
Yes.
It will unzip itself. So now I am going to go to my Jeff file.
Because I have a Janome.
Janome. This is your DST, which is the native language. Most machines read that, but it doesn't have the right colors. EXP is, of course, your Berninas, your Husqvarnas. This is the other folder you will need. Right beside Jeff is called PDFs.
Okay.
That will be your thread charts and your templates that you can send to print. Let's open those real quick. I have Acrobat Reader. There's free download if you want it. I have also the whole Adobe thing.
Okay,
but
so what happens when I open up my PDF?
Yeah, so there they are. So you have the November template part 1, part 2, and the thread chart part 1, part 2, because there's, of course, part 1 is the pumpkin soup part, and then the ingredients is part 2, ingredients and directions.
Right.
So we can look at my template, and it will open the template up. And you can see my Acrobat is starting to open. Acrobat Reader.
Open up the PDF.
And this is your PDF for pumpkin soup, as you can see. And it is opening. And mine's awfully big, so forgive me.
So it just kind of shows me what it's going to... the placement. Okay.
And this is my template. Now this will show you your replacement of it. And you will need this because I want you to center this on the top of your towel. We'll talk more about tips and tricks, but you'll print these. These are your printables, and you'll use that
PDFs.
there.
Okay. All right.
And then you have part 2, which looks exactly like this, except the ingredients and the directions.
Okay.
So those will open in Acrobat Pro. All right, so now we're going to go back, and our main thing today is to show you how am I going to put these on my stick. So I'm going to take my Jeffs, and I'm going to open them up.
And that's for Janome.
And double click it, and there they are. Now you're going to ask me, but Costa, why does that little thing, mine doesn't have those little blue? Well, that's because I have an embroidery program, and anything that happens will be read through that embroidery program.
Okay.
So that's the program that will read it. Whether you may have different programs, you may not be able to read yours on your computer. That doesn't matter, because we're going to first take and we're going to highlight it, highlight them both.
Okay.
Then we're going to right click. Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me.
These are the embroidery files.
Right, and then we're going to right click, or if you have a trackpad in Apple, you can use 2 fingers and it does the same thing. We're going to copy those 2 items. Then I'm going to go right here, there it is. And I'm going to put my 2 fingers down on my trackpad, and I'm going to paste those 2 items onto my And then you heard it pound down
Yeah,
there.
where did it go, Costa?
Went right into this. So let's open our USB stick.
So it went into my USB stick, which is right here, which I already have ready.
And there they are. And they're right on there.
Okay, so now I've got it on my USB stick.
So I've got to eject it. And in Apple, we eject it by putting 2 fingers, same thing, to get all those things up.
Oh, up here,
And it says eject, no name.
Yep.
Yours may have a name to it, whatever.
Okay.
And I've ejected. It's ready to go.
Okay.
So now we're ready to pull it out.
All right, so open up my email, make sure my USB stick is in.
Right.
That's how I put it on my USB stick, and now we're going to put it in the sewing machine.
And so you know where your USB holder is.
It's on the back.
Wherever you're on the side of the machine, 500, 550. This can be read, these 2 will be read by all 3 of your machines, 500, 550, or 15,000. All right, so we're going to put these in. It is so easy. And we're ready to open it. There's your file opener. Right here, the second icon down. But it says sewing machine. It says sewing machine, so we're going to highlight
the USB stick.
But I didn't stick, this automatically defaults to EMBF file, looking for it. I don't have one on there. I don't need one because now the 500 and 550E have an arrow. And this arrow will look at other different things. So now I have these files on it, but there's 2 pages. So I'm going to hit the second page, and there they are.
Oh, there they are right there.
And there's the ingredients page. And
and there it is. And that's how I get it into my machine.
Exactly. And it asks you to use an 8x11 hoop before you start sewing. And there's my ingredients. It doesn't always have the right colors. It shows that green as being a brown. That's just the way it reads. And then I'll show you, I'll get out of it, put it into my grid. There it is beautifully in the grid. Exit out. And then we're going to go up one more.
And then second page.
And we're going to go to pumpkin soup. And there's the part 1. Now, so we want part 2, and this is part 1.
And there's part 1. Wow, okay, that was so simple. So I get my email, I open up my email.
Double click it,
and
it will unzip it automatically.
On
Apple, Macs, it will.
It will, and it'll unzip the file, and then I I copy it to my desktop, and then I drag it to my USB stick.
Right.
Then I eject my USB stick safely. Put it into my sewing machine, and then I'm ready to roll.
There you go.
So, Costa, thank you so much.
It's so simple, and make sure, call the store if there is a problem. But right now, this particular thread of the month is pretty large because of the writing, and it is an 8x11
And actually,
design.
while we're talking about it,
yes.
Why don't we... Do we have it anywhere?
Yeah, I thought we still had ours.
Is it over
right
there?
here, we had it close to us. So here it is. So you can see what I showed you is this is part 1 and this is part 2.
Now, on the other thread of the months, those are smaller files,
Right.
so those don't need to be extracted as a zip file. So like, for instance, this file here just came in my email, and I didn't have to extract anything. I just put it on my USB stick and put it on my sewing machine.
Because it was only one design and a small kilobyte.
Yep.
Just as any of these are. The Boo Bag was not zipped either, even though it had a little project with it. So the Boo Bag was not zipped.
Isn't that cute?
And so we are going to be doing another bag pretty soon. So we've had so many requests for this, a special kind. Another in the project. This one was really not an in the hoop project, but I will be able to later on. We will be showing you tips and tricks, and that has been scheduled to be on pretty soon.
Yes.
So tips and tricks on your towel. It's very important you see those if you are a thread of the month person.
Yes. So we're going to have a special video, and we're going to upload it very soon of tips and tricks on how to stitch out your pumpkin soup towel. If you have any questions, we will have tips and tricks on that. Thank you so much, Costa, for all your hard work and for digitizing these beautiful designs that I did. And thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And don't forget, if you don't hesitate to call us, talk to us, let us know what's going on. If you are Thread of the Month and you are having an issue, sometimes I would have to you know, extract a file just to send to you. Sometimes one things that do happen is through email, some files can be corrupted. It's not necessarily they're corrupted when we send them, but internet, cyberspace does things to things, and so that can happen.
Yeah, so call the store anytime if you have an issue,
Right.
but after this video, you should be able to
open
up
them.
your files. If you're a Mac user, this was for Mac.
And download.
If you are a Windows user, if you have a Windows computer, we just did a video on that, so look for that. Thank you so much for joining
You're
us, Costa.
welcome.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
all that you do, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.